Hey everybody, Nathan France with RPG. I'm here with Austin. Look, we just came back from SHOT Show a few weeks ago. And one of the wild things about Austin, his design company, his forge, all the important things that he does, it was one of the premier products at the SHOT Show, not only because the quality, because the type of people that are behind this company. So Austin, we're here wrapping up the show. We'll tell people where we're going to be next, but give them a lowdown of the show, what people were excited about, what you're passionate about. Give us the goods, brother.
Well, one of the great things about designing for CRKT's Forged by War program is you get to give people kind of what they want. So if you want American-made, handcrafted, I've got the stuff that I do that I make right here in Spring Lake Park, Minnesota, and that's all one of a kind, made by hand. But then CRKT produces these, a different variant, and what's awesome about that is since they have $1 million machines and employees, you can get them at a much more affordable price with much less downtime and lead time. But the special part about the CRKT Forged by War program is that 10% comes off the top to the veterans charity of my choice. So each disabled veteran that designs for that program chooses where the donations go. We actually started that program, and the Clever Girl was the first blade that we launched with it. And since 2015, we have donated over $2 million to the Green Beret Foundation, Purple Heart Homes, Operation Oak, the Global War on Terror Memorial Foundation, and they're helping some of our nation's finest warriors. They are leading the field in blast injury treatments. All of the stuff I get treated for TBI for getting blown up, man, the government didn't fund all that initial research. It was the Green Beret Foundation because so many of their guys had gotten blown up. So at the end of the day, you get a good knife. It does the job. You know you can trust it and feed it up. And at the end of the day, you're feeding me and my family, but you're also doing big things for the charity. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. If you go buy one of these knives on the internet from CRKT, I get a couple bucks from it and all, because we're all splitting the back end of that. The main beneficiary for this entire line is the charities. And for some reason, CRKT doesn't do a lot of advertising about this because, they're very humble and they say, we don't want to toot our own horn. And I'm like, as a veteran who wants veteran organizations to get a lot of funding, we want you to go out there and let people know, because it's an amazing thing that they did and they continue to do to help out. This year's two biggest things, I believe, were we launched the Clever Girl version of the kukri. When I was designing this knife, I wanted to take that traditional kukri element and its cutting abilities, and I wanted to make it tougher. So I've got a buddy named Perna in Nepal who's like an umpteenth generation bladesmith. He makes some incredible stuff, but the original kukris, they were designed to do one thing. They were designed to be able to take a head on a bull. The regimental kukris, before their Gurkha regiments deploy at a ceremony, they behead a bull with one chop. Now, the tang on that is a stick tang. It goes into a piece of wood or bone or whatever. These are solid steel. It's all one piece. It's a full tang. There's no windows or cutouts in there, and it balances almost exactly on my Band-Aid to where the start of the cutting edge is, because I wanted it to go faster and a little more mobile. So it was great to get to talk with him, pick his brain, then make prototypes. I bought a knife or two from him so I could handle the originals and see how they moved and how they felt. The other big thing was these folders. So the Clever Girl was my first big design. It was the first blade for the Forged by War. It was so popular, we actually went and made a folder version of it. So it was the first folder I ever designed down in Alan Foltz's shop in Florida. Alan's an incredible craftsman, and I told him I'm way too dumb to be able to make folded knives. And he's like, no, you're just dumb enough. So he brought me down to his shop for a week, stayed at his house, and taught me how to do it. And now, Operation Oath is very thankful for that, because they get their 10% for everyone's sold. This is the strongest lock face that CRKT has ever fielded that I've ever tested. The original knife we made to test the lock face took 5,300 inch-pounds to break. And it didn't break in the lock, it broke where the bevel started and the stud was. So this blade is D2 tool steel. That bar on the back has 2 solid steel square pegs that go all the way through the blade. You have to shear them both if you want to make the knife fail. So it's really cool to get to stay involved from swinging a hammer all the way to CNC machining at the end, and get to see where the charity work is done. I really want to thank you guys for inviting me to come out here to the show with you, and I look forward to doing more shows with you, and not just because your wife gives me coffee, but some of it is the coffee. But it's great to work with RPG, because RPG, you know, they are doing so much with all these different veterans, just networking, the charity side of things. They're at like a 50% donation amount, and I mean, they've personally helped me and my family, and seeing the work they do in the community is just incredible. So somebody told me once, if you surround yourself with good people, you'll find that your life is better than if you surround yourself with bums. So it's great to be, you know, in this partnership, and I look forward to working with you, man.
So look, guys, you got all the information. If you're looking for the customization, though, Austin, like, right, we're talking Damascus steel, folded hundreds of times, 420 times on some of these quality tools, quality knives. Where would they go to get that? Because that isn't something you're just going to Amazon. You're not going to the sporting goods store.
When I do these, I make them one at a time. Every now and then I'll do some larger batch stuff for friends of mine who have companies that distribute. But you can go to milandesigns.com. That's my website. When I have in stock work, it's there. You can pick up my Forged by War stuff through CRKT from my website. Anything you get from my website, I'm more than happy to sign it, customize it. I don't care. Like the original prototype for the Karambit was a dagger, but there's places where you can't sell or carry a dagger. So the legal team said, well, you can sharpen this side and you can sharpen this side, not this side. But it's beveled. When you buy one of these from my website, I generally sit down and turn it back into a dagger for you, unless that would be bad for your local law enforcement. So, you know, it's little things like that. You know, you can probably find it cheaper from another distributor because I sell it for what it costs. But it adds something to it. I also throw some pearls of redneck wisdom in the box, and I'll warn you, some of that's pretty funny.
So we got the website options, we got the retail options, and guys, we're going to be back in Ramsey, Minnesota, April 22nd, 23rd. My email is nathan@realpeoplegiving.com. You need more information, of course, you can reach out to Austin through the YouTube channel here. Guys, God bless. Thank you so much for having us. It was a great weekend.
All right.